Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a review and wear test of the Shiseido Sychro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. I've seen this reviewed by quite a few YouTubers, heard some pretty good things about it. So let's figure out if this is, worth the hype, worth the dollars, and if it actually is self-refreshing. So this foundation is the first foundation that refreshes non-stop. It uses active force technology to synchronize with skin, resist heat, humidity, and motion for a fresh, natural finish that lasts all day. 24-hour wear. It is flawless, weightless comfort, medium and buildable coverage. It is dermatologist tested, non-comedogenic, and it is oil-free as well. So we're gonna test this baby out and really see how it works, if it really, self-refreshes, looks flawless all day, and is, creaseless. All those claims, we'll see if that really is true or not. If you are new to my channel, I am combo to oily, so I'm more on the oily side, but I do have my dehydration and dry days. So my skin's pretty finicky. Like full coverage, really matte foundations typically look really cakey on me because I have that dehydration. The natural finish or radiant finish sometimes can look oily, so it's really hit or miss with foundations. I do really love natural finish foundations because I find they do look most flawless on my skin, but I also like the mattifying elements to the matte finish because I do have that oil. So it's really just depending on the foundation. These are pretty big claims. It says it's weightless, it says it is breathable, it says it's blendable, buildable, it says that it's 24-hour wear, and that it is oil-free yet all-day hydration. It says it's waterproof, smudge-proof, humidity-resistant, transfer-resistant. Like, those are big, and like non-comedogenic, fragrance-free. Big claims. So we will see how that works. So let's get started. I'm going to apply primer. I'm going to go in with the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I'm going to just apply a little bit of my Professional because I find it is super smoothing. This is a combination that I do a lot. So I am, familiar with how it looks with foundations. Okay, so it comes in this bottle. It's pretty, I do really like the packaging. It looks very sleek. I like the tinted glass. The black and red is very, elegant and sleek. So I really like that. And then you twist it to the left, and I guess that unlocks it. So that's probably good because with pumps sometimes that can make a mess if you are traveling with it. It can, pump in the bag if it is pressed against something, so this way you could lock it. So that's nice. And pump it onto the hand. It seems pretty thin, which I like. I don't really love super thick foundations. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply it with my Beauty Blender, and let's see how it does. I think the shade matches pretty well. I guess I should have checked that first. But I only got one, so we're gonna do it. Okay, so at first glance, it's definitely medium coverage with, the first layer, which is okay for me because, as I've said before, I find really full coverage, thick foundations can look cakey on my dehydrated skin. So I'm okay with that. And lately I've been, a little bit more comfortable with a more medium coverage, but it does say it's buildable, and I would like a little bit more coverage because a lot of my, scarring is poking through. So I'm gonna go ahead with another layer, but at first glance, yeah, like it looks good. It's hard to tell, you know, how it's going to wear, obviously. I've never tried this foundation before. So far it looks good. So far it looks like a lot of other, you know, natural finish foundations that I do really love. So I think that if it's, you know, continues to look like this, then I would be happy. I'm gonna apply another thin layer to build it up a little bit. I'm going to be using my Benefit Boing Cakeless Concealer. This is one of my favorites among many. I think this foundation looks really flawless right now. Like, so far I'm loving it. Okay, so I'm happy with that. The concealer went on really well on top of the foundation. For my face, I'm actually going to use my MAC Studio Fix concealer because it is a closer match to my skin. And I'm just going to conceal a couple of my scars and blemishes. Set my under eyes and my T-zone with my Catrice Prime and Fine Mattifying Powder. And then for the rest of my face, I'm going to use my Cover FX. So it is set and it is still looking pretty flawless. So I'm really happy with this. No creasing under the eyes. I mean, I did smooth them out like I typically would. So, but I didn't notice any excessive creasing. And yeah, I think it looks, I mean, there's no creasing on my forehead. I mean, I obviously have lines, so you're gonna see like the lines. I can't remove the lines in my forehead, but I don't see any, you know, noticeable creasing in my nose. I don't see any creasing yet. So far so good. I think it looks pretty good. And so now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to finish up my makeup. I'll come back, give you kind of my final review after seeing how it sets and looks. Okay, so I am back. And I am loving this foundation. I think it looks really good, really flawless. It has gone well with the primer. Like, my pores are very blurred. It didn't, like, you know, emphasize anything. It definitely, you know, sunk into the skin beautifully. Like, it soaked it up, and it doesn't just sit on the skin. It really does look like a part of the skin. And yeah, so I am going to check back in with you guys throughout the day, and I will come back at the end of the day to give you my final review of the Shiseido Sychro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. So far, I think it's a hit, but we will see how it does throughout the day, if it really does refresh and stay, you know, fresh and, you know, not crease or wear. So we will see how that wears throughout the day, and I will update you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Just a little update. It is 5:30, so it's been about, oh, I'd say like at least 5 hours since I applied the actual foundation, and I'm loving it. I feel like it looks flawless. There's no creasing. It's not sinking into my pores. It really is looking awesome right now, so I'm really happy with it so far, and I'll check back in at the end of the day. All right, so it is 10:30, I think, roughly around there, maybe closer to 11 by now, I'm not sure. And so it's been at least it's been around 9 hours that I've had this on, and I'm actually really impressed. It definitely built up a little bit of a shine on my T-zone, but nothing that I can complain about. This is actually really good. Typically it's a lot worse by this point in the day, especially for a natural finish. So I'm really impressed with that. I'm really impressed with the way that it looks at this point in the day. Like, it still looks pretty fresh. I have a little tiny bit of creasing in around the nose, but that's honestly it. I have none underneath the eyes, maybe like the slightest bit, but like nothing noticeable whatsoever. You know, my forehead isn't creased at all, which is really good. And yeah, so I'm really impressed with the way that it wore and how, you know, flawless it looks. I am really liking it so far. And I think that it really does refresh itself because it looks so flawless still, and this is 9 hours later. So yeah, I really would recommend this from a first impression, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video if you enjoyed this, and have a great day, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.